This is a little bit long, and it's no wonder that I finish up a bachelor. It's a mix up of the knickers and it love, so. Yeah. I was backward at going forward, and why I didn't know. There were people who said that I was shy, while others called me slow. My father blamed me mother for rearing me a lazy sod, while she maintained it was all his fault, that all his crowd were odd. Or why don't you go way out and get a woman, he used to say to me. Sure, when I was your age, the very least I had was always 2 or 3. And a bit of advice I'd give you, and it worked for me when I was young. If you're not in bed by 12 o'clock, you'd be far better off at home. Now I had me eye on Mary Ann this last 8 years or so, but the thing that always held me back was the fear of her saying no. You see, my problem was I turned her down back in her younger days. Mind you, it's not that she's getting any better looking now. It's just I'm not as hard to please. If I said that she was ugly, I would not be telling lies. She once worked in a butcher shop just to keep away the flies. But I was at that stage when it came to looks, sure I didn't give a damn. And I know you'll stay the same if you saw the cut of Mary Ann. From time to time I'd meet her down about the shop, but I never had the courage to bring the subject up. You see, she still was cool with me since I turned her down that time. But since she got the little bit of land and money, I kind of changed my mind. I was put in contact with a man, an expert in these things, who swore to me he had a plan. He told me to buy the rings. To see if you will follow my get a woman plan, I swear to you within a week or 2, I'll have a rating from your hand. So see, the next time that you see her, pay her a lot of heed. Look closely at what she's wearing and see if there's something she might need. Perhaps a scarf around her neck or something for her hair. If you like the plan, come back to me and we'll take it on from there. Well, later on that evening I was out behind the buyer. I made up my mind to go for it. Sure to say God loves the trier. Like after all, I'd be no worse off if that would bag now she said no. And just remind her I was right the first time when I told her where to go. Exactly 2 evenings later, I was going down to have a pint, and who did I see? Only Mary Ann, and she coming peddling on the bike. And just when I was meeting her, along came a great big truck and nearly blew the clothes clean off her. And did I get a great good look? There wasn't a lot she needed as far as I could see. All her valuable essentials were well covered from just below the knee. But at the last minute I spied it, what a man would buy for the woman he loves. It was so obvious there in front of me, she wasn't wearing gloves. I went into town the next Thursday on the bus from nearby for Ban to try and buy a pair of gloves, the first part of the plan. I told me ma what I was doing, and I asked her could she recommend the kind, and she said, Jesus, wouldn't you be better off if you bought a pair for yourself and not be always wearing mine? But after all, she said, I'll go with you. You'll need me to try them on. It wasn't what I had planned to do, but I said I'd play along. She said we'll go down to that draper shop that is owned by Fred McVickers. Do you know, she said, I'm in an awful state. for a pair of pants. That's what women now call knickers. But when I walked into the shop, I got completely mesmerised. For when the shopman asked me, sure, I didn't know her size. I stood there like an idiot, not knowing what to do. Because today you have me there, but she's about a 7 in a shoe. I bought a pair about her size, as far as I could tell. A lovely pair of leather ones that had a gorgeous smell. Then I saw a pair of men's gloves and they were sitting on a shelf. And I thought about what Ma had said, so I bought them for myself. Then he gave me a long list of instructions what to do if the gloves got soiled or wet. And he said, can you remember all I told you? I said, now don't you fret. I looked over at the mother, she had her business nearly done, because today, Ma, you better stir yourself for the last bus will be gone. When I got home, I started thinking about all what I had to say to Mary Ann. So I got a pen and paper and I wrote the whole lot down. You see, I knew that I'd be nervous and leave out half what was to be said. To me, it made a lot more sense to write the whole lot down instead. Later on, I washed and shaved so I'd be looking nice. And I splashed on what was left of in a bottle of Old Spice. Says I, Ma, where are the parcels? Because she said they're lying on the bed. But sure, instead of picking up the gloves, didn't I pick the knickers up instead? I left the house as proud as punch, now realising what I had done. I jumped up on the old tractor and I got her started on the run. When I arrived at Mary Ann's, I saw she was alone, so I parked our tractor on the slope and I pointed her for home. I had kind of slipped up to the front door and on it I did knock. When Mary Ann came up, said I'd like to have a talk. And here's a little something for you. I bought in McVicker's shop. So I handed her the parcel with me letter on the top. She started opening up the letter and I said, oh, Jesus, Mary Ann, will you open up the parcel and I will read the letter. The plan was going perfect. I thought I'd have a fag. I was as proud as a dog with 2 dickies. I didn't know which of them was shag. And she opened up the parcel. She didn't seem one bit too pleased. That bit of a grin that was there before had quickly disappeared. Oh God, said I, she doesn't like the gloves. Yeah. And I felt an awful dread. Said I, Mary Ann, will I read the letter now? And she barked at me. I can't wait for it, she said. Okay. Yeah. I wrote to you this letter, my dearest Mary Ann, to explain about the present, and I hope you'll understand. You see, the last time that I met you, I noticed you hadn't any on. So I bought you these and I hope you're pleased, and that will keep you warm. Now why I took this liberty, you're wondering I suppose, but I could see your skin was turning blue around where it was exposed. And them old flies and midgets. And that east wind, it can bite. And I could see your front was taking the brunt of it when I met you on the bike. I have to say I really liked them when I saw them on the shelf. In fact, I liked them so much, I bought a pair myself. You see, when it's cold, I'd wear me mother. But that really isn't fair, because I'd be wearing them so much and they were her only pair. And Mary Ann, if you should ever wet them, And you might now, who can tell? Well, you're not supposed to wash them. They'll only lose their lovely smell. And if you should ever soil or dirty them, just wipe them with a rag, which you can blow into them from time to time to say it helps them not to sag. Now, I don't know if you're superstitious, my dearest Mary Ann, but as for myself, I'd have to say I'm a very superstitious man. And if you should ever drop them, and now and again I hope you'll do, to say it is not lucky to pick up your own, so I'll pick them up for you. Now every time you put them on, I hope you're as cozy as can be. And every time you take them off, I hope you'll think of me. They might be a little tight at first, but that's because they're new. Now don't you worry, when I'm with you, I'll pull them off for you. By now the face was frying on Mary Ann. I thought she'd blow a fuse. And the language that came out of her, I never heard a woman use. You F and B and you fat RC were two of the nicer names that she called me, as she read me 7 generations and ridiculed me pedigree. It was only then I saw the knickers and realised the mistake I made. I tried to explain about the mix-up in the parcel, but this was an unforgiving blade. With every word that came out of her voice was getting higher, and she grabbed Ma's brand new pair of drawers, and she fucked them in the fire. Saying, get out of here, you pervert, before I call the law. And with that she clobbered me with a feluder to the jaw. Jesus, I didn't see it coming. She knocked me off my feet. And in the melee that followed, I lost me cap and 2 front teeth. I gathered up me alls and balls and I made a quick retreat. Abuse was still being hurled at me as I scrambled across the street. She opened up the window, she threw out me brand new cap, saying, take that rag with you, likewise that hape is scrap. And as I freewheeled down the road, Jean, I was knocking off each ditch, and me ears were still a buzzing from the barracks to that old bitch. But I was glad that I had escaped and that I had survived. I was never as near in all me life to being alive. So I'm sitting here now reminiscing. I've done it for many hours, just silently regretting, wasn't I the stupid bollocks that didn't bring her up a bunch of flowers? And when I meet John Expert, I'll tell him to take his plan and to stick it where the sun don't shine and to fuck with Mary Ann.